Alright, we're back to WCW 2000. In this episode, we're doing Monday Nitro on February 14th, and we're also doing SuperBrawl. So we're opening the show with Nash and Steiner cutting a promo just like we did last week, and Booker and DDP coming out. In tonight's main event, it's going to be Kevin Nash and Jeff Jarrett versus Booker T and Sting. That's going to be your main event tonight. We also acknowledge Nash versus DDP versus Booker T in SuperBrawl's main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gets an 80, and Scott Steiner has the night off on pay-per-view because he still has his broken arm until March 1st. So, Alex Wright gets a win over Billy Kidman. Alex Wright is going to be facing Rey Mysterio on pay-per-view. He's got his new gimmick. It is the Cruiserweight Cure. Instead of his Berlin gimmick, he's back to the Alex Wright moniker. 62. Got Borash interviewing Lance Storm, faces off against Buff Bagwell on pay-per-view. And Borash tells Storm, he asks him how he feels about the change of plans to their match on pay-per-view. And Storm wants to know what Borash is alluding to. And Borash said, WCW management has decided that the television championship is making its return. And they decided that they will just put it on the line on the Storm versus Bagwell match because they've been WCW management's impressed with both these guys. And Storm says, I don't know why they're impressed with Bagwell, but Storm is going to win. I am going to win the title this Sunday. So 41. Got Champagne Hour and the debut of the Second City Saints, CM Punk, Colt Cabana, and Ace Steel come out. And what's going to happen is we're going to see a 3-on-3 tag match, elimination tag match, on pay-per-view on SuperBrawl. It's going to be CM Punk, Colt Cabana, and Ace Steel versus Chris Kanyon, Kiwi, and Scotty Flashy Icon. 23 right here. We got the Bad Street Boys versus Stasiak and Palumbo, and Stasiak and Palumbo managed to get the victory with a torture rack on Joey Matthews, even though Matthews and Christian York, mid-30s to high 30s, maybe I should have put them over, but I saw they had great chemistry, so 28. Jeff Jarrett and Sting. Jeff Jarrett cuts a promo, Sting comes out, they're facing off on pay-per-view, they're also facing off in tonight's tag match, so 78 right here. Crowbar versus Lance Storm is up next. Lance Storm gets a win with a Canadian Maple Leaf. Bagwell ran in and attacked Storm at one point. Daphne distracted Crowbar, which led to Storm getting the win. And afterward, Buff Bagwell and Storm have a little bit of a brawl. This wasn't supposed to happen on the show. It was supposed to be Vampiro cutting a promo on Crowbar, but since Vampiro was high on painkillers or something, so he couldn't be here. So instead, Lance Storm versus Crowbar, and we got Vampiro, who wasn't here, unfortunately, but he will have the match against Crowbar on pay-per-view. So 45. Savage gets a promo. Luger comes out. They're facing off on pay-per-view as well. Gets a 64. We got match 2 of the Best of 5 series. Perfect Roads right now lead 1-0, and after this match, it is now 1-1 after Shane Douglas interfered or distracted Kurt Hennig. 64. Those two teams are also facing on pay-per-view for match number 3. Jeff Jarrett talks to Kevin Nash and Scott Steiner. Their tag match is up next, Jarrett and Nash. So 68. Booker T talks to Sting. Their tag match is coming up. They're real excited. They're going to work well together. Sting says he's very impressed with Booker T, shakes his hand, really puts him over here. So gets an 83. And our main event, Sting, Booker T get the win over Jeff Jarrett and Kevin Nash when Booker pinned Jarrett with the scissors kick. 73 once again for a 75. Which I'm happy with. And our popularity goes up all over the U.S. And that's it for the first Nitro. Now we just have the SuperBrawl pay-per-view, which I'm going to go book, and I'm going to show you the results in just one moment. So we'll be right back with that right now. We are here, SuperBrawl 2000. We open the show with commentary. Bobby Heenan, Mike Tenay, and Tony Schiavone. They run down the card, and let's get started. 10,000 people are here tonight, and we're opening the show with Randy Savage and Lex Luger, and the Macho Man gets the win with the diving elbow drop. Decent opener right here. Two guys that will not be here by the end of the year. They will be gone by probably Bash at the Beach, maybe Halloween Havoc if we go too far. They're just going to put the new generation over. But for now, they're still opening the show, and they're doing pretty good, so we're happy with that. We got the 3-on-3 next. It's Second City Saints versus Champagne Gang. And here's what happens. Chris Canyon, Kiwi, and Scotty Flashy Icon cannot get the job done. Kiwi gets in the ring first. Colt Cabana rolls him up. Scotty Icon comes in. Ace Steel manages to hit him with, I don't know, like a pedigree or some shit. Pins him, 1, 2, 3. And then Ace Steel stays in. Tags out to Colt Cabana. Chris Canyon comes in, takes out Cabana. Ace Steel goes in, takes out Ace Steel. And finally it comes down to CM Punk and Canyon. And CM Punk manages to roll up Canyon. And the Saints win their debut match. So 41 right here. An 80 right here for the Cruiserweight Championship match. Alex Wright defeats Rey Mysterio with the German suplex after interference from Billy Kidman, which means Alex Wright is the new WCW Cruiserweight Champion. And afterwards, we get the beatdown. Billy Kidman officially turns heel on Rey Mysterio. So we're moving into a Billy Kidman versus Rey feud, because I need to push these guys as solo stars, especially Rey. And the best way to do that is to split them up with Kidman turning heel, in my opinion. So 44. Tag match up next. Bigelow and Candido get the win when Candido pinned Dustin with a blonde bombshell after interference from Shane Douglas. Billy Silverman took over as referee because the original referee got knocked out. So a bit of WCW bullshit there. But at the end of the day, it's a decent tag match. As long as it's not happening on every match on the card, a little shenanigans doesn't hurt. So 60. Crowbar versus Vampiro is up next. Vampiro gets the win in 8:24 with the Tombstone Piledriver. Gets the win in 8 minutes and takes out Crowbar. Afterwards, Vampiro beats down Crowbar, beats him down into the mat viciously, and then the lights go out. And then they turn back on, and who is but in the middle of the ring? It is Sabu. He is here, and he brawls with Vampiro. So it looks like we're moving into a Sabu and Vampiro feud. So 41. Lance Storm, Buff Bagwell for the television championship, and Lance Storm gets the win over Buff Bagwell after interference, once again, from Roddy Piper, Robert Roode, and Eric Young. So a bit of WCW, a lot more WCW on this card. There's a lot more interference. But I think it's still better than what we actually got. So Storm gets the win here, and we have Roddy Piper, Robert Roode, Eric Young all interfering. Looks like we have a new Team Canada with Roddy Piper as the mouthpiece. So 60. Sting versus Jeff Jarrett for the United States Championship. Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop, gets the 1, 2, 3, and we have a new WCW United States Champion. And now our main event, Booker, Nash, DDP. And Booker T gets the win, manages to pin Diamond Dallas Page with the scissors kick, and he is still your WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Booker T celebrates to end the show, but then Hulk Hogan makes his WCW return and stares down Booker T and the WCW Championship. So it looks like Hogan is looking for the belt. An 88. As we end the show with a 73. Let's tell the roster: Sting, Jeff Jarrett, and Rey Mysterio. Financials, not a lot. That's unfortunate. I really don't want to do this. Alright. Yeah, sure. Buff Bagwell's angry. I'll sit down with him. I won't, but I'll sit down with him. I have high hopes for him. That's what we'll say for Cabana. SuperBrawl was a success. There you go. Vampiro has not hidden his unhappiness. I'll sit down with him. I won't. Perfect. And that's where we'll end today's episode. We'll check up on a few things. So, we're moving into the following storylines. Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman. Bigelow and Candido versus Hennig and Rhodes. Right now it's 2-1 for the triple threat. So, the best of 5 continues. Buff Bagwell will probably end up leaving the company, but too bad, so sad. Vampiro versus Sabu. Team Canada's introduction. Probably Sting and Jarrett's going to have a rematch for the United States title since Sting won the title. Booker versus Hogan. And then we'll see where we go from there with the tag titles and all of that. So thank you guys for watching this episode of WCW. Make sure to like if you like this video, subscribe for more. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Goodbye.